Hello everyone, my name is Beth Tashadi and I'm a grants coordinator with the Coastal Resources Division, and today's tutorial is about the Coastal Incentive Grant Submission Portal. It's a new portal that we are using this year for the first time, so I'm going to walk you through the pre-application process. Before we get started in the actual submission portal, I wanted to remind you of everything that's available on our website. So the Coastal Incentive Grant Program webpage has all the information that you'll need to submit your pre-application and your full application. So please be aware of the application materials that are on the right-hand side. You can see the request for proposals, the application instructions, some sample forms, the evaluation criteria, the Coastal Incentive Grant PowerPoint presentation, and so all of this information I highly recommend you take a look at before and while you're preparing your pre-application. On the website you will also, beginning November 1st, find the link to the Coastal Incentive Grant Submission Portal, and it will be available here, and you'll have from November 1st to December 4th to submit your pre-application. So let's go over to the Coastal Incentive Grant Submission Portal. And the first thing you'll need to do is create an account. So you'll sign up, and just a reminder that this information will need to be shared if you work at an institution and have other people using or providing information for your application. You'll need to share this information with them so that they can access the application as well. So just use your email and password to sign up. Once you've signed up and are signed in, you can create your profile to get started. So click on the Create a Profile. And the profile is just very basic information, your application or the institution, the federal employer ID number, and the DUNS number. So to create the profile, you'll click Create a Profile, or you can save a draft. And at any point in the application or at any point in the process, you can also come over here to the caret or the arrow pointing down, and this will allow you to preview this form or to print. So if you need to print it, to save it, you'll be able to do this on any of the forms. So we'll go ahead and create the profile, and then we'll move on to the next step, which is to get started on our application. If you are an institution that will be submitting multiple applications, all of your applications will be available here. You'll have to get started on one, and then once that one is ready and saved, you can get started on another one. But they will all be here under the same information, login information. So to get started, we'll just click on the Get Started. And here you have all of the steps for the whole process. So the newest steps will always be first. So the things that you'll need to do next will be at the top, and then the steps that you've already taken will be underneath that. In our case, this is our first step, so the pre-application intake is the first step. And just a reminder that you can open it and save it and come back to it at any time, but it will not be submitted until you click on the green Submit button. And it's not green right now because we haven't started our application process. But once we've input all the information, it will turn green, and you must submit it in the time before the deadline, or else it will not be submitted. And you'll have here how many days you have remaining to submit this. So let's go ahead and open and get started. So again, if you need to save or preview this form, print it, you can print it and save as PDF. That information will always be here and will always be available. And so let's get started with the contact information. The contract contact is the person that receives contract notices. The financial contact will be receiving invoice and payment notices, and the project manager or PI will receive all emails for this, all notices for this project. So you'll move on to project specific information, the project title, and please note that there is a character max for the title. And you'll determine what type of project this is, whether it's research, non-research, or construction, and the primary funding theme, and you'll choose one of the funding themes. If at any point you need to look back at the instructions, you can click here for the instructions and it will open a separate tab, or you can find the instructions on our webpage. And the instructions will give you a little bit more detailed information about each section. So once you're ready for the sections, you can start filling out this information, remembering that there is a character max and each section will have a character max at the bottom. So you'll input this information. You will not be able to input any tables or images or any kind of uploads for the pre-application. You will be able to do some of that in the full application. So you'll fill out each of the sections. Then it will ask you if this is a 2-year project. If you say yes, then it will open up the descriptions for task year and task year 1 and task descriptions for year 2. If you say no, it will open up the task descriptions only for year 1. And a reminder, if you are planning a 2-year project, that the tasks cannot carry over. So your task descriptions for year 1 and 2 must be separate. You'll select the number of tasks that you're planning on having. And then it'll ask you for specific information, a task title, task description, and again you can find out more information about this in the application instructions, but you'll fill this out for all of the tasks that you've chosen. And then you will move on to the budget. And remember that a minimum 1-to-1 match must be demonstrated. You will need to enter 0 for any field that's not applicable. And there are 9 categories, and again you can come to the instructions and they will give you an idea of what should go under each category. So I will fill this out real quick. And so it'll give you a total of the CIG funds requested, a total of the match, and a total for year 1. And remember that a minimum 1-to-1 match must be demonstrated. Then you will certify that the authorizing official has approved the submission and provide the name of the authorizing official. And at any point you can save as a draft as long as it's before the deadline. So you can save and come back to it. You can save as a draft and then close it and come back to it. Again, notice that the submit button is not ready yet because I have not marked it as complete. But I can go back in and change any information, update any information, add any information that I'd like. Once I'm confident that the application is ready, then I can mark complete. And then once I've marked complete, then the submit button turns green and I can decide to submit it. If I do not click on the submit button, I can still go in and edit, even though it does say it's complete. But I can edit it up to any point as long as I submit it before the deadline. So once you're ready to submit, click on the green submit button. You'll receive an email indicating that you have submitted. And I just wanted to show you what the email is going to look like because it is going to come from Email Zengen HQ, and that is the company that administers this submission portal. So it may come into your other box if you have Outlook, or it may be, you may have to make sure that you have put this as a focused email so that you will receive these emails. So you'll receive an email saying that your project has been submitted and is currently under internal review. If you have any questions or need to give me any information, you can respond to the reply to this email and it will go to my email. So you can just click reply, and if you have any questions, you can also contact me at my phone number. But that is the process for your Coastal Incentive Grant pre-application. Again, it will be available November 1st, and the deadline is December 4th. So if you have any questions while you are doing the application, if you're having any issues, please contact me so that we can get any issues sorted out. But I'm very excited with the new submission portal, and I think it will be a great asset. Thank you very much for watching this tutorial.